Welcome to the Property Guide. You're watching ET Now. I'm Faye D'Souza. Thank you for joining us. As you might have guessed, we're not in the studio this week. We've stepped out to travel a bit. We're in the city of Pune. The idea with this show is to take a close look at Pune, find out what's going on, if there are opportunities in the city for you as a buyer or as an end user, what parts of the city will do really well in the future, and where should you go bargain hunting. Before we go any further, here's a quick look at the numbers of property in Pune. Take a look. Nestled in the Sahyadri mountain ranges, the city of Pune is no longer just Mumbai's smaller cousin. With a bustling economy of growing IT and manufacturing industries, Pune has become home to the most stable real estate market outside of Bangalore. Even though reports show a relative drop in prices, Pune's performance over the last 2 years has outpaced larger markets of Mumbai and the NCR. According to a report by Cushman Wakefield, Pune's residential market saw nearly a 33% drop in new launches in the first quarter of this year compared to the previous quarter. Now compare that to the 68% drop in the NCR. Pune has 16 months worth of unsold inventory pent up compared to 36 months of unsold inventory in Mumbai and 42 in the NCR. Now, if you're in the market to buy a home in Pune and you've been waiting for prices to come down, you just might be waiting in vain. As various reports project an average capital value appreciation of 12 to 15% for the year ahead, Pune's realty market is looking forward to healthy growth in the future. All right, so how interesting is the city of Pune? We're in a very interesting project right now. This is Gera's Isle Royale project, and it's a luxury project. But what I have on the couch with me are three very, very interesting developers in different spaces in the city of Pune. And we're going to talk about innovation, we're going to talk about spaces, and we're going to talk about different areas in the city. Darshana Pamar Jain is the Deputy Managing Director at Ishwar Pamar Group. Thank you for coming in. Rohit Gera, Managing Director at Gera Developments. And Sujay Kalele is the CEO of Kolte Patil Developers. Thank you for coming in. I want to start off by looking at the numbers in Pune. The package that just played out talked about the fact that sales are all down. Does this mean that prices have come down on the ground? And I want each of you to answer this. From your projects, do you have customers coming in, bargaining for a lower price? And what is the kind of discounts that you're making available on the ground? I'll start with Sujay. At Kolte Patil, projects right now, what are you getting in terms of, what can customers hope for in terms of a discount?
Yeah. So we just declared our quarterly results yesterday, real estate company, and for the full year of FY15, we've done about 2.9 million square feet. However, said that in the last quarter or so, there have been increased inquiries, but lesser conversions as far as on-ground activities goes, and there have been some expectations from the customers. But I don't think the situation has come where we have to offer discounts or anything of that sort yet to the buyers. On and off there are some subvention schemes that are on offer in the market. There are some sales activations that go on, but by and large it's a balanced market right now.
Rohit, the interesting thing about Pune is when the rest of the markets, like the NCR market for example, ran away in terms of prices, Pune didn't. It remained stable. Is that one of the reasons why we haven't seen prices come down as sharply as we've seen in other markets?
That's absolutely true. Pune has historically shown a reasonably high appreciation when the rest of the country or many other markets saw runaway price hikes. And you're right, that's exactly why we don't see steep drops. So the volatility in Pune isn't as much as many other markets in this country.
Darshana, what have you noticed on the ground in terms of, there have been a lot of reports that say that Pune is entirely driven by the IT market. Is that true for for the buildings that you have in the market right now? Are you seeing purely IT driven demand?
That is not true. Actually, Pune has several growth drivers. IT is one of them. So there is Pune is also driven by industry. So automotive, there's electronics, there is education is a very large industry. So there are several growth drivers that contribute to the jobs in Pune, and therefore the residential demand comes from all of these. Pune as such, did not see the runaway prices like you spoke about. I think it's a very stable market because we don't have too many investors coming into Pune, and therefore the prices didn't skyrocket. and that makes it a very stable market. We have a lot of end users buying properties that want to come and live here. So it's retirement, education, students who are studying are buying, IT professionals who are coming in. And it will continue to see good growth in your mid-market segment.
Actually, Sujay, you're also now in Bangalore and in the Mumbai market. When you compare sales across these three markets, which one is the strongest? Where does Pune fall in that pecking order?
Pune and Bangalore are neck to neck actually. You might, you can take any of the reports that have come in over the last month or so. Bangalore and Pune have topped all the charts as far as stability and expectation of price rise goes. In fact, Bangalore has now, last year has overtaken Delhi NCR and Mumbai as the largest real estate market in the country, which in itself is a big feat for any market to come into. Between Pune and Bangalore, sales are pretty stable. Both markets are driven by end users. Both have, Pune is slightly better off when we compare the kind of economic activity that is happening here. Because it's not only dependent on IT, but then Bangalore is a clear leader in IT. As compared to Bangalore, which leased 10 million square feet in the last financial year, Pune was closer to 4 million square feet of IT space. So there's clear-cut differentiation of IT jobs that are getting created in Bangalore.
But I know, I want to ask all of you this, even though that's the case, and that's a really good case, the pricing of homes between Pune and Bangalore is not that different. I can still go to a Bangalore, close to a Mahindra Tech Park or even an electronic city, and I can buy a home for 40 lakh rupees, for 50 lakh rupees. Do you think there should be a larger difference between that city? Do you think the offerings are the same between Pune and Bangalore right now?
I think one of the things to keep in mind is the distance from city center.
Okay.
Right. If you look at the amount of time that it takes to get from the city center to a home which is priced at the 4,500 rupees a square foot in Bangalore, you're easily traveling 45 to 60 minutes, right? In Pune, you need to travel maybe 25 minutes from the city center. So I think it's a misnomer to just compare prices without taking into account the geographical location within the city as to where that pricing is actually available. So you can get, I'm sure you can even get in the far-flung areas of Mumbai, you can get 5,000 and 6,000 rupees a square foot. But
really far.
Exactly, this is my point. That's exactly the point, right? So it's geographical. And one has to keep that in mind.
Welcome back. You're watching the Property Guide on ET Now. Thank you for staying with us. We're talking about the Pune market. We talked about the fact that there is some weakness in this market, and we all know what the triggers are going to be. Possibly lower interest rates, better infrastructure, more supply in this market. I want to understand from you if you think this is the bottom. Do you foresee more pain? If this sort of a market continues, say, for another 6 months or through the festive season, will the prices come down further, or is this the bottom, Prashna?
I think we've hit the bottom. It's only going to get better from here. I think that we are already seeing sales on the upside. In fact, luxury has done very well, not very well, but it has picked up in the last 2-3 months. We are seeing sale of units even 5 CR upwards. So it is getting better for sure. And with real estate going towards being regulated as an industry, and it's going to get more expensive. So if you're looking to buy, now is the time.
Ruth, what are the triggers? If we assume that this is the bottom and things will get better from here, what do you expect will happen in the next few months for it to get better? Because we saw last year the festive season alone was not enough. There were a lot of hopes being pinned on the fact that people will come out during the festive season and buy. That didn't happen. So what could possibly happen this year?
So I think couple of things that need to happen. We need to see interest rates come down. Okay, and so that's the one big one. We're already starting to see investment coming in and companies starting to make longer term investments. We're starting to see the infrastructure sector take off as well. So I think it's a matter of time. So I don't think that there's going to be too much that is going to create a shake-up in the market to come down for prices to come down. So I think it's bottomed out.
Sujay, I want to talk to you about Nestfest, I beg your pardon. You did see, according to the PR releases, there was a lot of response you got. Is that the kind of thing that builders are going to have to do going forward to sort of get the market going, get people to come out and actually take a look and maybe book something? Because post Nestfest, have you seen the interest hold up, or are you going to have to keep doing events like that?
So Actually, that was, as you rightly said, the festive season did not see too many conversions. So that's when our team came up with the idea of Nest Fest, and intelligent packaging and good promotion actually resulted in a lot of buyers who were fence sitters in actually jumping on the bandwagon. So I personally have a slightly different take on that. I feel today's buyer has become far more intelligent and far more informative. I don't think another Nest Fest would be successful, will give us the same results. It was seen, there were, after February, there have been 7 such events done by different developers across the country. But they didn't get even 1/3 of the response that we got. And I can tell you that if we do it again, I don't think we will get even 1/3 of the response that we got.
All right. So, given where the prices are right now, none of the three of you think the prices are going down from here any further, which makes it a good time to buy. And you also believe that there is a possibility that a builder or a buyer can come in and possibly drive a bit of a bargain. But if the big question is finding the right builder, I want each of you to give our viewers one piece of advice on what should be on that checklist.
I would look for service post delivery. I would look for on time delivery on previous projects. The intent.
So I go to a project he's already completed and actually
you should do your
ring
homework.
a doorbell
yes.
and
you should do your homework. It's available. There are a lot of forums where people post opinions. So there should be homework that you do before you invest so much money into any apartment. And I believe that you need to research the company that you buy the home with. Yes.
So I think track record is the most important factor, and I think too often customers get swayed by glossy brochures, by glib sales talk. Please, for God's sake, don't do that. You're going to be paying for the next 25 years or 20 years for this home which you're buying. And the last thing to do is to repent over a 25-year period.
Yes.
I'm not so convinced about just the online bit to go and ask, because I think that there's a lot of motivated actions on that. So the easiest thing is to go to a past project, ring a few doorbells, talk to a few people, ask the question, how responsive is the developer? These are homes which are built by people and they can have problems. But if you find that the developer is responsive, that he's going to fix your problem, then you know you're in good hands.
So does it make sense for me to check on funding? Who has funded this product? Who's behind
absolutely.
it? Is there if I wanted to check on
Absolutely, why not? I mean,
how would I do something like that?
Yeah. I mean, one should research everything actually, and I would go slightly further, one step further, and say that one should check for approvals. Because today that is one of the biggest areas of concern. I mean, obviously there have been cases in the past where developers have got approvals, and those have been revoked for reasons out of developers' control. But at least to start with, that is something that one has to do, because approval, I'm getting approval and I have got approval.
Two completely
different things actually.
I want to understand, in the Pune market, what is the most challenging piece of approval or paper for you to source? So for example, if I go as a customer tomorrow to buy from a Pune developer, I know all of y'all are smiling, but okay, and he has 3 approvals, he doesn't have the 4th one. I want to know which of those is the most critical that I have to make sure that he has. So what has been the most challenging in terms of all of the approvals together?
Rohit's question.
So look, I think each of them pose their own challenges.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you require all the approvals, and I'm not exaggerating, but each and every one of them is extremely challenging. And there's a number of reasons for it. Part of it is to do with the industry, part of it is to do with just the system and the environment. Part of it is the lack of accountability and the lack of ownership. But it is an extremely challenging process.
The worst for us has been the environmental clearance bit.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think if environmental clearance would have been slightly streamlined, like some taxes that are now PM has been referring to in his speeches, I think Pune prices wouldn't have jumped so much in the last 3-4 years. But it's only because while the demand actually compressed by say about 20%, the supply got compressed by 40% because of this environmental clearance, which actually prevented a lot of supply, and this continues. We have not seen any improvement in environmental clearance in the past 2 years at all.
Right, so there's no reason why we should only grade and rate developers. I want each of you to give me your rating of the ease of doing business with the city of Pune on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest and the most convenient. I know you're going to pass this on, so I'm going to come to you last. So Jay, you start first.
3.
3.
Yeah.
And compared to the other cities that you do business in?
Oh, Bangalore is 7.
Bangalore is 7.
Yeah, we get like Thani Sandra project that you're
Yes.
talking about. We got environmental clearance in 1.5 months from the date of applying. You compare that with our Wakad project. We invested 392 crores 2 years ago in buying 34 acres of land, and we got the environmental clearance after 2 years.
So it's probably the reason why, you know, the other numbers that you compared between Bangalore and Pune was so starkly different.
Absolutely right.
Rohit, is that your experience as well? A 3 for Pune?
No, I think it's a little worse than that. But let me tell you, we talk about this ease of doing business as far as India is concerned, and India is 142 on this list. Okay, we are at 184 on ease of getting construction permits in the country.
Wow.
Okay, when you drill down further into that report and you look at the different cities, Mumbai has been number 17 out of 17 cities in India. We are part of the same Maharashtra government.
Yes.
So it is my belief that we are in amongst the most difficult places in this world to obtain construction permits. I'm convinced just looking at that World Bank report and the experiences that we face.
So the prices that we complain about as customers, that this is too expensive and the prices are just not coming down, and where are these prices coming from? Like, how are these builders, you know, commanding
Why
this
are
sort
they
of
not
rates?
reducing rates?
A large portion of that is the, you know, the non-ease of doing business, so the
Inefficiency. 25% of the total price that a customer pays goes into stamp duty, service tax, VAT, input VAT, excise, approval fees that we pay, development premiums that we pay. 25% of the cost of the home is paid to the government. This is the reality. Then there's cement, steel and other things.
Yes.
There's land, and then there is what the developer makes at the end of it.
All right. So
If anything is left.
well, let's hope there is something left. Welcome back. You're watching the Property Guide in ET now. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're taking a very, very close look at the Pune market. And while we talked about the city and we talked about the market, I want each of you to give me the name of one location that you think will do really well. And obviously, you're going to name a location that you're in right now. So also defend it. And the rest of us will rebut on whether or not we think that that's the strongest location. Rohit, do you want to pick among all of your projects, which one is the most promising?
So we're extremely bullish on Kharadi. Okay. There's a number of reasons for that, and amongst them are the fact that jobs are created within that micro market, whether it's an existing SEZ, whether it's additional IT space coming into that market. I think it's very closely located to shopping malls, to entertainment. It's within the municipal corporation limits already. However, on a relative basis, we're bullish on Kharadi. Overall, I think Pune is, you know, set to see good days in the future. But since you made me pick one, I'd go with Kharadi as my pick.
So Jay, if I was looking at pure IT demand, wouldn't Hinjewadi be a better bet?
Yeah. Hinjewadi and Wakad are a very, very strong bet, especially because while we also have 2 projects in Kharadi, that's an area which is driven by leased office space demand. So you don't have campuses, large campuses on the eastern side. Obviously, Magarpatta is there, but that's also leased. If you look at Hinjewadi, it's now officially Asia's largest IT park if you put together all the 3 phases actually.
What sort of price appreciation have you seen in Hinjewadi in the last 3 years?
Double.
Double. And you expect that to continue? That sort of growth to continue? Or
see,
it's going to be slightly more difficult to replicate
I don't
that
think it will
over?
double in the next 3 years. I mean, I'll be happiest if it does that. But I suppose, you know, because one, you know, that 100% appreciation was also the fact that it was a location discovery.
Yes.
Another such location that we are bullish on is Urse, which is on the Bombay-Pune Expressway, closer to the stadium where developments are coming up. That is where we are coming up with our next 600-acre development. So that will definitely see 100% appreciation.
Darshana, you want to pick your location?
Yeah, so there are 2 locations. I think overall Pune will do very well because in all directions you have your growth drivers. But for us, Pimpri Chinchwad I think is something that is a location to look at if you're going to invest or buy, because one, infrastructure is fabulous. PCMC is very, very good with its infrastructure. 100-meter BRTS roads everywhere that you go, flyovers. So they've planned ahead. And here price appreciation will be tremendous. Like for us, again, prices have doubled in the last 3 years.
All right. I also want each of you to talk about innovation. Now, we do know that Pune, because of the space that it has and because of the inclination towards art and culture, you have Trump Towers coming in, you have a lot of very interesting architecture happening in Pune right now. But, you know, from each of your companies, what's the most interesting thing you all are working on? Do you want to take that first?
So, for mid-market segment, I think the idea of aspiring to have a home which has amenities which have not been seen before. So for us, it's been a boat club. To be able to offer something like that in the township has been very, very attractive. People are excited to offer a suburban home with a more active lifestyle. That's what's worked very well for us.
Rohit?
So we're currently very excited about our child-centric homes. We launched this last year, and we're finding tremendous excitement amongst consumers.
What's a child-centric home?
So a child-centric home is basically a home which takes into account the safety, fun, development needs of the children and the convenience needs of the parent. So we've tied up with providers for coaching for the children in tennis with Mahesh Bhupati, with Vishwanathan Anand for chess, we have Shankar Mahadevan for music, we have Shamak Dawar for dance, we have Anil Kumble for cricket, we have Lilith Dubey for dramatics, and we have Dale Carnegie Institute for leadership and public speaking and personality development for kids. So what we found is parents today want their kids to have the best of opportunities. And there's a need to provide these kind of facilities for families within the development itself.
Vijay, what are you working on right now?
Yeah, so we are working on, other than the project development, product development that continues, what we are working on is how we can integrate technology into the core business to basically open up the entire company. Right now there is too much of dependence of people to people interactions. So technology is something that we are integrating. We just launched in January, we launched a mobile app for customers as well as channel partners. So we were the first in the country to do that. The response has been phenomenal. So we'll see increasingly more technology initiatives which will at least ease of doing business with Kolte Patil should go up.
All right.
Actually add to one more thing. We're currently celebrating 10 years of our 5-year warranty.
Basically, if anything breaks or leaks or cracks, you will come back and fix it
Any
in 5 years.
manufacturing defect, we give our customers a written contract. It's on stamp paper, handed over to them at the time of possession. And over the period of 5 years, if there's any manufacturing defect, we come in and fix it at our cost. We've been doing this for 10 years now. And it works. And I hope that other people do it. It'll be great for the industry.
Sujay?
Yeah.
Will you do it?
Absolutely. I think that's.
So we do it. We do offer it right now, and it does play largely on the confidence of the customer when he's buying. So.
Okay, unfortunately, we've completely run out of time, but this has been fun. Thank you, all three of you, for joining us on The Property Guide.
Thank you very much.
If you have questions for any of them about any of their projects, you can write to us. Our email ID is at the bottom of your screen. You can reach me personally on Twitter as well. Thank you so much for watching.